Is your lease running out? Don't panic. Extending your lease might be easier than you think, but honestly, timing is everything. Hello and welcome to Blackstone Solicitors YouTube channel, and today we're walking you through the leasehold extension process, step by step. Whether you own a flat or a house, this is essential knowledge for protecting your property's value. So, why extend your lease? When your lease drops below 80 years, it becomes harder to sell, harder to remortgage, and more expensive to extend. That's because of something called marriage value, which kicks in and increases the premium you'll pay. If your lease is under 80 years, it's time to act. Under the Leasehold Reform, Housing and Urban Development Act 1993, qualifying leaseholders have the right to extend their lease by 90 years for flats or 50 years for houses, with ground rent reduced to zero. And, as of January 2025, you no longer need to wait 2 years after purchase to qualify. The lease extension process step by step, here's how it works. First, check eligibility. You must hold a long lease, which means it was originally granted for over 21 years. Also, you need to be the leaseholder of a flat or a house. Next, get a valuation. You'll want to instruct a specialist surveyor to estimate the premium. This really helps you negotiate and, avoid overpaying. Lease extensions involve legal notices and strict deadlines. A solicitor ensures everything is done correctly. This formal notice is sent to the freeholder, stating your intention to extend and your proposed premium. The freeholder has 2 months to reply with a counter notice. They may accept, reject, or propose a different premium. If you can't agree, you can apply to the first-tier tribunal to decide the terms. And finally, once the terms are agreed, your solicitor will handle all the paperwork and register the new lease with the land registry. The typical process takes about 3 to 6 months, though it can be longer if it goes to tribunal. So, how much will it cost? Well, the premium depends on a few things: the length of your lease, the value of your property, the ground rent, and the marriage value if your lease is under 80 years. And don't forget, there are also legal fees, surveyor costs, and the freeholder's reasonable expenses to consider. So, what's changing in 2025? The Leasehold and Freehold Reform Act 2024 is bringing some big changes. Lease extensions will now be for 990 years, not just 90. Ground rent will be abolished on new leases, and the 2-year ownership rule is going away. These reforms make lease extensions much more accessible, but they're not automatic. You still need to follow the process. At Blackstone Solicitors, we specialize in lease extensions. We'll guide you through valuations, notices, negotiations, and registration, making sure your rights are protected and your investment stays secure. Thinking of extending your lease? Contact us today for expert legal advice and a smooth, stress-free process. Thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and hit the bell for more legal insights from Blackstone Solicitors.